And we are underway in Buffalo. And able to get this out to the 25. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. They'll be taken out by the product of the University of Louisville, the talented TeddyBridgewater.
A Pro Bowl quarterback early in his career in Minnesota before a horrific knee injury slowed down his progress. He's a more than capable quarterback and makes the most of his opportunities when he's a starter in the NFL.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
Bridgewater to throw it. That's taken in. It's Keon Coleman. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Jordan Davis, just a monster on that play, stopping it from going anywhere.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. To throw, Bridgewater. He's able to get it to Coleman. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 32-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Norris. And he's going to take this close to the first down marker as he stopped at the Eagles' 23. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop it right where it all started. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Zerline's kick is up and through. And the Bills' opening drive yields 3. Never ideal conditions in the snow for a kicker, but the first test on the opening drive, he passed it.
He certainly did. You know what the unit told me was their biggest issue playing in the snow? You just worry about something getting in your eye as the ball is snapped, and then you might miss it, and there goes 3 points off the board.
Take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want. But this guy, he is hard to corral.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Hurts to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. Running right through it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10. And he stopped immediately there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Hurts. Now he's going to step up and run. And Hurts able to show off some of that elusiveness as he slides to the ground there, and in the process picks up the first down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Hurts sets up to throw it. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. Only able to gain a couple there. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Three 0 after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. From the gun, it's Hurts. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, that's the down and distance coaches always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
So here come the Bills out for their 2nd drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Second down and 4. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Norris. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he is finally taken down, but not before he gets it to the Eagles' 29-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. The safeties were well back there, and he had a lot of room. Were they in the cover too?
Yeah, they were, and the safeties were back. You know, usually they're 12 to 15 yards off the line of scrimmage, somewhere around the hash mark for each of them. But what also happens if the linebackers dive into the line, if you block them initially, that blocker can come off of them and get up to the safeties on the second level, and now you've got a big place to run the football.
Zach Bond there on the tackle. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Now Bridgewater. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Bridgewater. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Hands it off out of the gun. He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Third and goal for Bridgewater. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Zach Bond with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. This will be spotted at the 20, so it's a 30-yard attempt. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive.
Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football is certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it, and if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
They work now on 2nd and 9. They'll set up to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. 3rd down and 1. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Hurts finding Smith for the Philly first.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
A handoff to Barkley. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a 2nd and 6. Back to throw here.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They'll look to throw here. To Barkley on the check down. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. So 8 yards on the completion there. And 3rd and 8 now.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup with someone trying to cover them, but they also have those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too. This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann.
And this will be taken at the 13. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. And now out come the Bills. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the lead. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
They'll run on 1st down. Morris.
Now inside the 25.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great play there. 55 yards. And the Bills will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan Let's find a way to score right here before the half, and that'll give us momentum going into the second half. Give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And he's got it to make it now 13-0. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. They're certainly in need of some kind of points here before the end of the half. A field goal or something, being shut out right now. They could really use some momentum before they head into halftime. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now 2nd and 5.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here.
Hurts going to keep it running right.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
It's caught. Smith. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
They'll throw now on the final play.
That one downfield for Dotson.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
So halftime straight ahead. Let's get you down to the Sunshine State and Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you. And welcome in, everyone. Scott Hansen in Orlando, where it almost never snows. These two teams dealing with a light dusting, and that's expected to go on into the second half. Who handles it better? Let's go back out to the stadium and check in with our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thank you. The snow is continuing to trickle down here as we ready ourselves for the second half to follow.
Not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow is still continuing to fall as we are back underway.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter.
By no means certainly are they out of this contest. Two-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives. Try and slow things down a little bit.
Second down, 8 to go from the 28.
It's Barkley on the counter. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
On third down, he'll drop to throw.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fielded at about the 28. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And it will be first and 10 as they take over. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it second and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Open man is Palmer. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
104 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
From the 42-yard line, here's second and 2.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Norris. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down. From the gun, Bridgewater. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And out now come the Eagles. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
And they'll begin by running the option. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
14 yards that time and a first down on the keeper.
It looked like almost some miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
Well, it's tough time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
They'll go to Barkley again. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Unfortunately for you, you've been around me for a little while now, so you know me as well as anyone and how I look at a game. I don't ever advocate abandoning anything, but in this case, I'm going against my own thought process. You got to change it up. You got to start throwing it around a little bit, finding ways to try and move the ball, because keeping it on the ground just isn't working for them.
Yeah, maybe get him the ball out of the passing game, a swing pass outside or something, just something to vary it up.
Pick it up, you're embarrassing us.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now an option play on 2nd down. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And Barkley did not get there. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. They'll run with Barkley, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the 1st down, and it'll be a turnover on downs. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14.
109 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
They go play action. Bridgewater. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Bills on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out. We've got them now. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Bridgewater now. Looking on the out route, he finds Shakir. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. He finds his man, complete. That's Norris. They'll give him 4 yards there. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Hurts and the Eagles now down by 13. A little under 2.5 to go. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
2nd and 6 coming up. Here's Hurts to throw. And he is going to be taken down. They got him. As that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Pass pass complete. Goddard. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
I know you're thinking it, but I'll just go ahead and say it. To give you an idea of how sharp he's been in this game, just his second incompletion, and we're in the fourth quarter.
He has been locked in, laser-focused all throughout this one, hasn't he?
Certainly has, and he's gotten some help from his receivers as well. They also are locked in.
Yeah, the drops have been at a bare minimum.
His throw is going to be incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw is Bridgewater. To connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense has been so stingy all game long. No reason to think it's suddenly going to open up now. They took their shot, but this, like many others, falls incomplete.
Zerline's kick is up and through.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Shifts by him.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Well, they need to score, and score quick. 1 timeout remaining. Final minute, 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. And that's complete to Brown.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Hurts.
His short throw caught by Goddard. And Goddard going to have an Eagles first down as he'll take this down to the 44-yard line.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
He's got Brown on the out route complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
If It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Looking for A.J. Brown again, and he's got it again.
The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out.
Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Oh, boy, tough conditions out there. I don't know if the defender slipped or what, but he had a man wide open, and that's a bad one to miss on. They don't come a whole lot easier than that one right there.
Here comes 2nd down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Out left to Dotson.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This Buffalo crowd letting him have it. 3rd down now.
Back to throw again.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough. But, yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Buffalo.